Hello everyone, it's me, Hyper Lone Georgie, well the fudge my name is nowadays. Lone Georgie, and I'm here for Horizon Phoenix Season 12, Round 12, the penultimate race, the race that can make or break a certain few men's seasons. I assume then I'm not going to question it. My mic is on, I've just checked, and I'm almost ready to go for the Canadian Grand Prix. 16 in the lobby today. I don't think we've got any new faces. Maybe we do. Oh, yes, we do. Forgot the man's name, but I saw him Sunday or some stupid shies. This Toncho is doing great to start off with. This is what we want. A commentator who's so clueless that he doesn't even know where on earth we're racing. Copy the message link, chuck it in the chat for everyone. I won't read out the standings because I've already said that in the chat, but you know what? Why not anyway? So basically the battle is Keto and Swy. Keto's not here today. Swytatch is. Valsa also is. That's our top three. And in fact, we can even extend this down to top four. So Keto and Swy can still fight for the lead. There is a 42-point difference between the two of them. But then the battle is more importantly for second place, with Swytatch and Valsa 27 points between each other, and JD, who is 5 points behind. Obviously, as we know, 31 points is the max amount of points you can get in a Horizon Phoenix weekend. Obviously, as long as there's no sprint. So, it'd be safe to assume X, Y, and Z. But as you can see, we are now here for Canada. Got our stuffs on. We're all ready and raring to go. First man out on the track will be the person I watch. The first person out on track is the first to leave the pit lane, as Will Buxton would say. Big up William Buxton. Oh, and it is a car. Is that... Is it a car? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's an Alpine. It's JD. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Alonso deciding he's leaving Alpine once again. What I'm really going to do is sort out my volume because I thought last week it was a little bit loud watching the stream back. You know, just listening to cars. A little bit too loud. If it needs to go back up, you can ask for it to be turned back up, but I think this is a more reasonable volume. JD, however, out on the softs. So is Stolen Milk and Moving Ninja. Obviously, to Moving Ninja now taking on the role of Crowley for the last couple of races as he takes a Mercedes seat full time. Meanwhile, Stolen Milk reserving in the McLaren for the second to last time this season, as he will be going to a full-time position onwards to next season. Obviously, can't say too much about driver moves coming into the new season, because that's, well, it's still up in arms a little bit, due to a few drivers needing to do certain things. For example, I can confirm you Keto's new team next week if Swytatch does not manage to score 11 points. So Swytatch DNFs, we are celebrating the hell out of it because Keto's just won the championship. If Swytatch gets over 11 points, we're celebrating the hell out of it because Keto and him still have a championship. If that makes sense, then I'm glad it does, because I'm not good at making things make sense. But we're keeping an eye on Stolen Milk now, who has stolen the milk from my dad, which is why he's been gone for so long. I don't know how the milk ended up in India, but I'm just going to assume they stole it from the goat. That's a two-part joke. I was thinking of the third part, but I forgot the man's name from India who drives an F2. Is it Sean Galile? No, different one. But anyway, Stolen Milk coming through into the last chicane. This is where laps can be made or broken. This one was neither. made nor broken there. In fact, it was made there with a 1:11.3. Good solid lap for his first run out. Now onwards to Benja, who's taking more dodgy lines than the ones I took at Ibiza. In front of him is Mr. Dean Phelan. There's Dan setting the personal best of 1:11.0. Only a second behind his time trial time, by the way. Third best man on time trial in the league, behind the obvious AlphaTauri of Bazooka Joe. We'll get to him later. And Rothens. Switach, P2, 1:11.1. And there's Benja, a 1:11.6. Meanwhile, the Czech man, 1:11.2. Emre Hedgehog, 1:11.1. Great to see him back in the league this week. 1:12.5 for Moomin on the mediums. Casper's invalid. That's an oof. Tony with those esports lines. Lovely stuff. As welcome to all new viewers, and feel free to leave a comment. Anything you find a little bit too funny. Ooh, snap of oversteer there for Tony. And do feel free to make me known. I try to keep the comedy and the actual commentating fairly balanced. Meanwhile, Valsa 1:11.5. 2 tenths behind Switach, the man he is looking to chase down in the championship. And snap, a 1:10.6. 4 tenths faster than Dan. That is Tony, P1. P1. Meanwhile, Casper coming around the hairpin, telling me earlier he was having a little bit of trouble not invalidating his laps, as we can see by the Sector 1 invalidation on his first lap. Leo, on the other hand, on his mediums, I believe that's just coming down to the hairpin now. Oh no, Leo's there. In fact, just in front of Casper is a 1:11.8 for Casper. 2 tenths behind Benja, just in front of Rothens, who I'm very surprised with his lap time. Meanwhile, JD starting his brand new flying lap. Leo put himself up into P7 on those mediums. Very nice indeed. Very nice indeed. It was lovely stuff. Give me just a second, I'm going to go find a drink real quick. One can of Corona later, and suddenly I think I can commentate. So that joke was better in my head, as JD almost screwed over a little bit there from the cars on the racing line. Obviously those two going into the pits, but JD will come home with a 1:11.9, putting him in P12, just in front of Moomin Ninja, who is on an outlap. Dean also on an outlap, and Dougie on his outlap. Meanwhile, a little further up the field, we've got Switach and Hedgehog both on their outlaps. Switach, in fact, starting a lap. Moomin Ninja about to start his as well. JD obviously doing whatever he wants to do. Switach will be coming through to start a full-on flying lap as we speak. In fact, let's watch it for a while. Switach looking good into turn 1. A little bit of bump on the apex, which was fine. Turn 2 looking good as well. Coming to the downhill. Two very quick turns. We've got to get just right. You've got to pin that needle. It's very hard. Then around up to the DRS section. Not getting too tight to the wall there, because there's a grass section in between there and the wall. Don't want that to happen at all. Here, there, don't cut the corner. Keep it on the straight and narrow. Not into the wall again, obviously, as you enter up to the hairpin. Coming out the hairpin, just getting on the acceleration as early as possible without losing too much traction is key. And then you want to get tight up to the left-hand wall, not onto the grass, swing the car in, try not to hit the wall of champions, and honestly that's a solid lap from Swy, and that does get him P2, a 10th improvement as he will now go in front of Dan, who himself is coming through for another fast lap. 126 is not fast. What? Oh, it's a 111.0. Okay. Hedgehog's up 14 seconds. We'll move on to Milk. Up 7. Valsa. Don't know if Valsa's improved on his lap. We'll just check a few lap times. And so far it's, yep, 3 tenths of improvement. That is good. Hopefully that wasn't a mess up there at the last little hurdle. It'll be a 1:11.1, and that's P4 for Valsa. Things are tight up at the top here. As we'll go to the Alfa Romeo of the Czech man, as this is his first full-time race in the Alfa Romeo. As Tony, man. No, that's a criminal lap time. You cannot do that. Criminal. Absolutely criminal. 1:10.1. Where's Crawley when you need a man to dominate? Meanwhile, any other new lap timers? Moomin Ninja hasn't improved on his old timer yet. And the Czech man's come through to a 1:11.0. That's P5. Ooh. As Dan improves to a 1. Bloody hell, what is... Leo? What have they put in that Williams? So they not only put Red Bull in the Alpha Tauri, they put Red Bull in the Williams. Why have they put Red Bull in the Williams? However, that's not an important question. What is an important question is, does Bazooka Joe want us to sing him happy birthday on stream? You know what? That's a question we're going to put into the chat right now. Should... Oh, actually, well, it's not a question we put in the chat now, because I need to invite someone real quick. My friends, this is being seen. Oh no. Where on earth is he then? Is he not supposed to be online? There he is. Anyway, Bazooka Joe puts his lap time in for a 1:11.7. So most people in the 1:11s, apart from like 3 or 4 people. There we go. Asking Bazooka Joe if he wants Happy Birthday to be sung. Uh, Give me just a sec as well. I'm also messaging someone to get them into the lobby. Alright. Who's next in terms of people? We'll go see Stolen Milk. No, he's invalid. Velsa, currently going on a lap at 125 at the moment. Oops. Well, that's not an improvement, I don't believe. In fact, we're just going to keep it on Tony for a minute, whilst I try and sort this invite out. This is why we don't have people who are late. Cough, cough. Mr. Andrew. As Tony's off into the pits. Moving in just sadly invalidated. Rothens into the pits. Casper on a lap, so we'll just spend this time to invite. There we go. 3 minutes left on the clock, so if Andrew wants to get in, he's going to have to do it real quick. Bazooka Joe says yes, sing happy birthday. Oh, no. Oh no. Oh no, we're not singing happy birthday. Alright, screw it. So, you know, if Bazooka Joe gets a podium, we're singing happy birthday. There, that's the deal. That's the deal. We're not playing we're not playing this game. As Casper won 11.0. Jeez, how many people are doing 111s? Even Stolen Milkster at 110.9. Ooh. You know, Bals is here trying to improve on his 111.1. Actually, that's not an improvement at the moment. But the Czech man has improved, as he's now currently sat in P7. I don't think it's happening for Andrew, that's a shame. And Moving Ninja also complaining about track limits. Lovely stuff. The normal stuff you expect for a man who hasn't practiced Canada. In a sense, spends too much time talking about how great Lewis Hamilton is. Oh, Dean's John. Where did he bin it? How'd you bin it there, son? How do you bin it there? Anyway, the Czech man up into P3. I'm still sorry I can't say your name. I even tried learning it. I had Google Translate up, just saying it back to me, and it just didn't work. I just can't. I can do Polish names, sometimes, but Czech, out of the question. Anyway, the man of the hour himself in the Red Bull here, Swiatach. For you guys in the pits, let's just remove that yellow flag warning. They're all done now, so Dan hoping to keep his P4, Milk hoping to keep P6 and Valsa hoping for P8. Rothmans taking P12 at the moment. Will JD, Moving Ninja, or Dougie improve on their lap times? I'm watching Switach. I'm most interested in him. Our Checkman and Hedgehog both into the pits as well. Dougie improves to P11. That's a good sign. Dougie up to P11, just behind Benja. As Switach comes through, and it is P4 for him, in front of Dan. Tony's lap is finished. We are moved down to JD. He's across the line with a 1:11.4. That's only P10. Moving Ninja, unfortunately, invalid. And Leo also invalidated too. Meaning, as things stand, excluding a certain Irishman at the back, Tony will lead from Leo. Oh. Well, I was trying to get someone in, so that's what I'm kind of multitasking about. It'll be Tony, Leo, Checkman, Switach, Large Dan, Milk, Casper, Valsa, Hedgehog, and JD is your top 10. Then Benja, Dougie, Bazooka Joe, Rothmans, Moving Ninja, and Dean in P15. My head hurts after reading all that. George, my head. I think Canada's one of the only tracks where you can see down the actual start-finish straight whilst you're looking into the pits. At least from the angle anyway, you can see the cars. I can count at least 14 that are in vision. But anyway, formation lap's about to start. What's going to be interesting is who's starting on what tyre. Is there going to be rain? Will it be dry? Will I get bored by lap 49? I meant 29. No, the rhyme almost worked. I was trying to fit it in on time. Oh, dear Lord. Me messing things up must be a crime. People did not come here for poetry. They came here for commentary. I'm so sorry. Mediums and hards. That's what people are on. And honestly, I can't wait till all 5 lights are gone. God, stop it, please. George, stop rhyming words. I just sound like a thwomp then. That's not, no, that's a villager. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, I'm sorry. Tony, Leo, and Switach. 3 of the top 5 on softs. Checkman on the mediums. Oh, that's a saucy take. Dan the same, but he's in like a medium sandwich. They are medium, he is rare. Meanwhile, Hedgehog and JD and Benja on the hards. I think hards from the back. Definitely decent. Dougie and Rothmans on the mediums. They're looking to fight clearly. That's interesting. Nobody on the softs, so I'm proud of those people, I guess, for not choosing the softs. If you choose the softs at Canada, I'm sorry, but tell your wife you're not into females anymore. That's all I need to say. But anyway, all cars now rounding the last corner, or at least attempting to, as they gear up onto their grid slots. What's a grid slot? Grid slots. Oh, 3 people missed their grid slots. First time Leo's actually started this high up. Probably doesn't even know where P2 actually is. But anyway, 5 red lights, and away we will go. And that is a brilliant start from Leo. You know what, maybe he's not used to P2, he's used to P1 though, clearly, as Tony shunts down to P3. Relatively smooth going into turn 1. As you can see, every car basically making it through. Leo making it through in first place, Swytach coming out in second, and Tony fighting the checkman for P3, gives the position in as they go through almost side by side. The 2 McLarens up into 6th and 7th, Stolen Milk and Valsa doing very well for themselves. JD actually overtaking Valsa though, so he's up, as Bazooka does Hedgehog, I believe, may have spun it there. That's him now down to the back of the grid. There's definitely a mid driver who misses the corner here and ends up just going straight on and getting like a 5-second penalty. It's going to be hilarious. Is this Milk making a move on Casper? No, he's going to hold it back for just a moment, but he is the closest man looking on with interest. And he's looking at the back of that Mercedes like I look at a baguette. Like I am about to destroy it. Swytach moves up into first though. This is good for his title charge. Oh, that's almost into the wall there. God, some of these guys are getting extremely close, and I am not liking it. Sadly, Leo, you could not manage to last a whole lap in the lead. You are the weakest link. As Hedgehogs into the pits. Valsa looks to be closing in on a move here on JD, as you can see. Looking rather good so far. Tony's also closing back in on the check man. We've got DRS in less than a lap and a half. But as you can see, Valsa's front wing looking extra on his car today. And yes, that's a joke. Meanwhile, Tony, watching the back of an Alfa Romeo. Oh, gives him a little shunt from the back. What is this TV pod cam? Jeez. I do not like it one bit. I'm actually going to move back to the Valsa move here. As you can see, JD just keeping ahead. Valsa not going out for the move. Too smart for that. Swytach with the fastest lap though, and we're moving back up to Tony now. As we can just see that he's really edging to get ahead of the Alpha in front of him. These are 2 men I have a feeling who will be fighting for quite a lot of this season. And next season as well. Tony's a very interesting specimen. Because you just never know when he's going to make the overtakes. Oh, I say overtakes as he has spun it. And that is Tony down now to the back of the field, resetting on track. Come on, guys. Let's not do that, please. But that moves everyone up a position, and Valsa now looking even closer for the positions he needs. He needs to beat JD here. JD's only 5 points behind him in the standings. This is a grudge match of the century. So I'm going to keep my eyes on these two as Tony overtakes Rothens here. Oh, and Rothens is back past Tony. Ooh, the switchback of dreams, I'm sure. Obviously, DRS is now alive. So drivers will be using it every opportunity they get Basically meaning that JD is the leader of a DRS train. As you can just see behind us, Benja tried it on Valsa there. So rather than JD being under pressure, Valsa is actually the one who is the danger. Lumen Ninja already with a time penalty. Rest in peace, my man. You are not going to have a fun time today. Also, just want to really quickly say, get well soon, Maestro. I know it's mid-race and he probably won't hear it, but he's ill. He missed today's race. He would have been our 17th man. Sadly, he's not been feeling too well. So, poor guy. Maestro de Vries will not be seen again. Until next week. Now, Dean closing on Dougie. I don't think there's going to be an overtake done. Not here anyway, as he's going to have to slot back in. Valsa with a 3-second penalty. Ooh, saucy. Yellow flag, yellow flag. That is Hedgehog. Tony with a fast slap from the middle of nowhere. And Milk with 3 seconds as well. Rothman's into the pits onto the hard, so that's a good decision, especially if you're not coping too well with your mediums. Or it could just be wind damage, I assume that's the reason. Meanwhile, we've got Leo on the back of Switatch. This could be Leo's first win of this season. I'm going to say I don't actually know. Leo. Yeah, Leo's first win in Rising Phoenix, full stop in fact. So this is pretty much Leo's real rise to fame here. He could be one of the first to actually have a win. Well, one of the first new people anyway, but he's right on the back of Switatch. Will there be an overtake into turn 1? Looking on board, he's going for it up the inside. Switatch will keep position. And sadly, oh no! Leo has spun it. Leonardo DiCaprio, more like Leonardo Dispinio. Call him a fidget spinner because he just went round and round. Well, that's Milk and Valsa through. Obviously, Valsa got past JD and JD's lunging it up the inside. A bit of a reckless dive there, must admit, JD. Sadly, I don't think it was on. He's moved out the way so people can get through. But Switatch now has a decent little lead there. Leonardo Dispinio. Oh dear. I sometimes come out with a funny one or two. Most of the time I do not. And now it's a Swede versus a Czech. IKEA man versus someone playing chess. Who will win the battle of the ages? Stereotypes or even more stereotypes? Single man, reveal yourself. Crying. Would you believe that this commentator actually has a partner? Neither would I. But apparently so. When you can't pronounce fuck. So you say Czech man. Yes, it's Czech man. He is a Czech man. And I know JD just got a pump penalty, but why are they going so slow? Oh, what has just happened between those two? Or have they just retired in the pits? I think they've retired in the pits. I think that's a double. Oh, that's the Aston Martin suddenly has Nikita Mazepin as its driver. Sometimes races just go poorly for people, and you can understand that. As I assume Dean and Rothmans have both decided to leave today's race a little bit early. Anyway, Czechman closing down Switatch. There's 3 DRS sections on this track, so that gap of 6 or 7 tenths has closed down relatively quickly. So I had to gain 4 attempts in basically half a sector if he wanted to stand any sort of chance. I'm only here for check, man, not gonna lie. Honestly, my friend, I can respect that. I can respect that. I used to have someone who came in on my PSGL streams only for one of the worst drivers on the grid. It was hilarious because we were all rooting for him, and when he did well, it was a celebration. But I'm only here for Checkman too. Love me a good Checkman. Oh, and Hedgehog into the pits. He forces me to watch all of the streams. RIP. You have to hear my voice, I'm sorry for that. Nonetheless, Hedgehog not having a good... Aston Martin just full stop, not having a great day. Both Dean and Hedgehog out of this one. But our top two are still fighting, so that's what matters. Is it just me? Or does it look like there's actually a Mercedes in the top 5? It must not be F1 2023. Haha! Joke being that Mercedes are crap, let's go! Tony with another bloody good lap time. I mean, can we have a Tony fastest lap counter? Like, we need to hire... One, we need to hire an editor. Two, we need a Tony fastest lap counter. And when he's not here, we need a Tony fastest lap counter if he was here. Moving Ninja, 4 attempts behind, so that could be a good little battle there with him and Bazooka Joe. Meanwhile, Casper not gaining too much on Stolen Milk. Tony fan club. If Tony has one fan, I am that fan. If Tony has no fans, I am no longer in this world. Checkman with a 3-second penalty. Basically doing the same as everyone else in the league at the moment. Oh, lads, it's only lap 10. I'm going to go back, Movement Ninja, closing in on Bazooka Joe. I am focusing on a back battle for a minute, but if Casper does anything actually really interesting, then so be it. Dougie looking a little bit slow here. Don't know what's happened to him, but he's had to back out there, and that's 2 free positions. It looks like he could be struggling a little bit. Possible wing damage? It does, and his end plates are still there. Maybe it was just a really dodgy exit for him. But that's unfortunate for Dougie. Meanwhile, up in the lead, here is the Checkman. Give me the camera angle, please. There we go. Goes to the right, then back to the left. Back to the centre once again. Yellow flag in Sector 2. That is... That's Tony. It's Tony. Crying. This is just unhinged commentary, I do apologise. This is what you do when you let one man have one beer. We have a 3-second penalty. And that puts him, at the moment it would be just behind Benjo, as Moving Ninja collects his second of the night. I can make a joke about Moving Ninja collecting more things than just penalties tonight, but, you know. How many commentators have you heard in the last month, though? That is the question. Actually, don't answer that, as it's still 1. If it's 1, I respect that. If it's more than 1, I still respect it. I still can't believe I was projecting Dan to win this race. 4. You know, I take that, thank you. Yeah. I find it funny how I was expecting Dan to win this race, and in fact the 2 fastest people on time trial, apart from Dan, are below Dan. And in fact, the 4th fastest is also above Dan. Obviously, that's excusing the fact that PC Man over here, what isn't on my friends list on PlayStation, so I can't see it. But he's definitely there. Probably very close to Tony his time. Leo, 0.6 seconds now, behind Valsa. Pit stops not expected yet. Give it another couple of laps or so. There's rain coming, isn't there? Wait. Rain is coming. Rain is definitely coming. All connotations aside, rain is coming. You can see it on the track. Oh, I think things have turned suddenly good. I'm just still surprised that Swiatach is leading this race. I was surprised that Stolen Milk is P3. The first two races this man had were awful. He's finally saying this, I'm assured. But his first few races were absolutely awful. It was like watching a man who had never league raced before. Actually, that's a lie. He has never league raced before. And now look at him, he's P3 holding his own against Casper. A man who, admittedly, last season looked like he'd never league raced before. Unfortunately, he had. I digress, though. Leo 4 tenths behind Valsa, trying to close in on him. The real battle is Valsa v JD as well. Valsa v JD and Valsa v Maestro. Swiatach, sorry, not Maestro. Sad thing being that Swiatach, currently P1, looking like he's pretty much unchallenged by anything Valsa will ever do. On the flip side, JD, well, not unchallenged. Oh, that was a corner cut and a half. Yeah, not unchallenged, but I don't think he's going to reach P5 without a safety car anyway. And the rain could really screw Valsa over. But that one poor move, really wasn't good for JD. DRS still on, which is a clear sign the rain's not here yet. It's just so obvious. I mean, and Checkman is pretty much playing a game of chess and constantly putting Casper's king in check. Does that mean a move's coming? Perhaps, but it also means there's a safe yellow flag in Sector 2 for some reason. Possibly Dougie, I think. Could even be Tony. Oh no, Tony's in Sector 1. But look at him, he's right on the back of Swy. Swy must have so much straight line speed in that Red Bull, it is unbelievable. Max Verstappen, eat your heart out. There's the overtake, but Swiatach defending round the outside of turn 1, inside for turn 2, keeps it. Now, DRS disabled, the rain is here. JD into the pits, speeding in there, literally. And now the question is, do these two pit? Do they pit, and when do they pit? Into 20 laps? Yeah, sure. Don't think so. Ooh, I think I know when Checkman's pitting. Aye. Getting him an invite back real quick, even though he did rage quit. That's quite obviously a rage quit. That's why into the pits. Stolen Milk now P2. Well, Casper, man. Casper, no way you did not just speed into the pit lane. And Valsa. And Valsa Benja into the pits. Oh, that's a double stack from McLaren. Dan's in, Leo staying out. What a giga, Chad. Swiatach out, he's going to be behind Leo. Oh no, he's not, never mind, ignore me. Everyone is pitting. Je suis le pit. Leo, mate, your car's looking like shit. I'm not gonna lie. You're driving about as slow as my dad does. And he's just lost 3 seconds to Milk. Leo, what have you done? You're the only Williams driver. You are the only Williams driver. You could have pit. Now look at this. You're just going to get overtaken by everyone. Oh, Leo. No, it's a disaster. An absolute disaster. Why have Ferrari strategists gone to Williams for this week? L plan did not work. And Swiatach, after everyone in P2 at some point has spun. Tony spun. Checkman spun. JD spun because of a bad move. Leo spun. Everyone who has raced Swiatach has spun. This is the Swiatach curse. He's P1 and he wants to keep that. Reminder, Valsa has, and I mean he has, not the team, the word. Does your, it's actually how many? In fact, how many points does he need? He's 27 points behind Swy. Swy can continue this championship fight. That is obvious. He's in P1, he's going to be only 11 points behind. But Valsa cannot keep up the fight for P2. He needs to be within 4 points of Swy, which is basically, at this moment, P2, where currently Stolen Milk is. Stolen Milk in P2. Oh, if we noted down podiums, this would be the one. This would be the one that surprises me the most. Never in my life would I have thought that this would happen. The biggest battle on track is here though, between every single driver and the penalties. I forgot to do a track guide today, but maybe I should have said track limits are really bad. Oh wait, I did. But I didn't do a track guide because I was still eating dinner. Oh, Casper has closed in on Stolen Milk though. As an Indian man, he must not be very used to the rain, so this is probably a new experience for him. I'm just making that clear that that was a joke, not a racial joke. We don't want to get cancelled for jokes like that. Just want to make it clear, because India has a lot less rain than many of us in Europe are used to. I'd imagine if it was snowing. God, has you ever seen snow? I know, I've seen it like 3 times. And I live in the UK. Aha! I mean like proper snow, by the way. Just making it clear. Oh wait, Dragosy. Dragosty. Thomas Rodhart there in the Alfa Romeo. I have no idea. Obviously hasn't joined back, so that will be a disqualification. Meaning, Dean gets a point! Let's go, Dean! Casper though closing in 5/10 on Milk. And Milky Boy is under pressure from the Polish man of Casper, whose name I'm also apparently getting wrong, but I've never been able to say his name, so haha. He's used to it by now. Swiatach getting away though. 8.4 seconds at the moment. And there's clearly a line forming there, sorry. Out of the Wall of Champions. I'm surprised that nobody's actually spun themselves into it yet. But let's just check. Everyone's done one stop, apart from Tony, who's done two. Hence why he's 16 seconds back. And the most gained positions is Benja, up 7, doing a blimmin' good job in P4. Followed by Moving Ninja up 6 and Bazooka Joe up 6. Obviously the most down, yeah, we won't talk about that one. And there we go. 15 laps left to go. And we're back in the same position with Casper and Mr. Milk. Meanwhile, slightly behind, it's actually the McLaren on the attack of Valser up against Benja. We can see Swiatach quite far away. Is that Tony into the pits? He's on wets. Ooh. Leo with another penalty. I'm not surprised. Tony on wets. That could be interesting. Swy does not pit. Is anyone going to? I don't believe so. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to keep the tyre selection here now. In case anyone does decide, you know what, screw it. Casper 7/10 behind. Valser has gained it up to 6/10. Leo 8/10 behind Moving Ninja. And let's just have a look at penalties real quick. Moving Ninja and Leo, the battle for the most penalties. Milk with 14 seconds. Yikes. But Moving Ninja and Leo, the battle of the penalty. Swiatach on the other hand, just ahead. Is Tony's losing time on the wets? Oh dear. I think they'll come in clutch soon, but the rain is getting heavier. Valser still 0.6 behind. Casper's now over a second. Tony's how have you cut a corner where there's not even a corner? That's impressive. Oh, I was looking at a Swiatach. Oops. Ooh, slow through there for Benja. And Casper somehow even slower, even though it looked like he had a much better exit. Confusing. Definitely confusing. Leo once again losing time on Moving Ninja. JD slightly closing on Bazooka Joe, but it's not too much at the moment. Benja's actually gaining on Casper. So I think Casper maybe he doesn't want to be in the dirty air of Stolen Milk, but at the same time he's got Benja and Valser right there up his gearbox. And this is a conundrum really, as Casper can't go and force moves, you know, or at least attempt to, because he's got two drivers behind who will snatch up that position quicker than I snatch up. I don't know actually, I don't snatch up too many things. There's not really a joke there, sorry. But basically we'll take the position quicker than most people could. It's just free for them. I know, it's quick, it's snatched. Ah, the joke's gone now, the joke's gone. Bono, my joke is gone. Meanwhile, our glorious leader, Swiatach, 10 seconds ahead. And Bazooka Joe's got a penalty. Boys, it's game over. Tony's Tony's towards the safety car. Tony has towards the safety car. Bono, the safety car is gone. That's a free pit stop for Dougie. On to fresh inters, okay. Does Switatch take this free invitation now? As I see everyone's around him. You know, will he deservedly get that free pit stop? Also, how's Milk just getting like half a second there? Okay, he's lost it again. It's good, it's good. Dougie able to overtake the safety car, that's good, good, good. Moomin Ninja got a penalty for speeding under safety car. Bro! Oh no, oh no. Things are just doing bad to worse for Mercedes. Great for Casper and Benja though. They've got no pens. But Switatch did not pit. That is intriguing. He obviously thinks his intermediates will last, and in fact everyone does. Realistically, the only person who even might want to have a gap or a pit would be Dougie's. He's at the back. Does Leo know there's a safety car on? Leo, there's a safety car, mate. You don't want to be speeding. Switatch has caught up with that safety car. And we're just going to go check the Discord real quick, see what's happening. Oh no. I think we're going to be waiting for Dougie, so we've got another lap under safety car. Tony just says, oh no, my wheel fell off. Ah, hilarious. What a joker. Do. Another safety car lap. Do. Another safety car lap. I've got a safety car in front. No, I have no idea why I was saying Ghostbusters. Don't ask me. Well, everyone's on inters. I think we don't need to tie thing up anymore. All we need is the fastest lap. Oh, look at that. Tony has that. Gap to leader we don't need either. Crazy how... Yeah, Tony did genuinely just die. That's crazy. Meanwhile, if things stay as they are, Switatch confirms he gets top 2. Large Dan, sadly, can only get P5, but will be in a prime position to do so. JD will be confirmed P4. Safety car in this lap. Switatch is trying to go. And in fact, he does, and he gets a brilliant getaway there with Milk not being able to keep up with that. Valsa, Benja and Casper all very bunched up together. And Dougie getting past the AI. This might be the last overtake we actually see, so we're going to just watch it anyway. But Valsa 3/10 behind. He's on Benja and Swiatach is just away. That is genuinely crazy. He is gone, out of picture, out of sight, out of mind. And here goes Valsa. Through up the inside of the Danishman. And Benja down now to P5. Valsa up to P4. Oh, Valsa down even more. Jeez, that must have a big hit of oversteer. JD now coming back. Goes in deep and oh, Moomin Ninja. Moomin Ninja went in too deep. And hit into Valsa. That cost Valsa a lot. Moomin Ninja now down to P11. Oh, obviously just took the dry racing line there. And there's Dougie the move up the inside. Moomin Ninja into the pits. Dougie and Leo collide. But Casper now has a little breakaway. Breakaway with Benja. Trying his best to keep up with him. But unfortunately Dan Bazooka Joe and JD are all still within a second of each other and then to Casper. And Casper's trying to regain that time back to Stolen Milk, who now leads this train. JD in front of Casper. So that 5-point gap between the two of them now getting closed up by quite a bit. Obviously 7th and 8th being about a 3-point difference. Watching Bazooka Joe though, 5/10 behind. And I don't think he'll gain up to Dan, but Ben's just looking at Casper with vicious and hungry eyes. Casper getting a good little run away, but Benja just closing down now. He's not in dirty air. Problem is, you get too close in the wet, and the dirty air kicks in. Properly. You get all that spray, all the dirty air, you can't see a thing. I crashed into the back of Cowman, and yeah, these things happen. Now JD looking at the back of Bazooka Joe, not able to make that move just yet. Obviously no DRS as it's wet. But the AlphaTauri holding strong. And really, any move that JD makes, he has to make it so that only he's getting past. He does not want Valsa to get onto the back of him and keep there as well. That is the big problem he has. Also penalties involved. So in fact, JD and Valsa both on 8 seconds, meaning, you know, if Valsa's too far back, things will go bad for us. Casper loses out to Benja here. Benja now up into P3. Stolen Milk still in P2. Large Dan even gained on Casper. He's gone for the move. Casper in serious troubles. He's just lost 2 positions in one there. Also, Dan does have a 3-second penalty, so that's a big difference. But what I do mean to say is any positions gained by JD and Valsa have to be thought of as time gains, really, rather than position gains. Because both of them are dropping back by 8 seconds. And yeah, Leo's dropping back by 12, but that doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things. Oh, as JD has dropped it. And that's JD down to 11th, so never mind what I said about time penalties and dropping down. Those two have dropped the ball on each other, that's for sure. Meanwhile, Valsa now 2/10 behind Bazooka Joe. As we can see, they're not making the move just yet. Bazooka Joe keeping it ahead. But Benja is going to be looking for that move on Milk. Benja with the grip hacks. Thomas Ronhart, eat your heart out. Because Benja's got that super duper grip. However, Milk just has the straight line speed for it. Cuts the corner to try and keep ahead. Benja rightfully now deserving this position in my opinion. If you need to cut it to keep ahead, you don't deserve it. As here comes Dan up the inside. It's a 2-for-1 meal deal here at Tesco's. And Dan has opted in to buy it. Meanwhile, Bazooka Joe's got past Casper. Casper's going to try and keep it around the inside, but can not do so. Valser's through. Oh no, he's not actually. Valser's looking to get through. And there's the Williams of Leo. Even pushing through on Casper. JD's up as well. And now Dan's pressuring Benja. Switatch's gap is 9 seconds and it's being hunted down. Oh my. Oh my giddy aunt. There are gaps everywhere and they're all being closed down. This is brilliant stuff in the wets. It's like some of these guys have a dry track. Or as I said, grip hacks. But there's Milk and who I think tried to dive on Dan, surely. Losing out, Bazooka Joe going in with the slipstream. It's not going to be enough. He's not going to get that move done. He's going to have to wait till the main straight. Same with the move behind. JD getting past Dougie there. Ooh, dangerously slow. So as well. Obviously doing it into the last chicane and the Wall of Champions. Also, I realise I keep calling chicanes hairpins and hairpins chicanes. That's quite funny. Casper trying to keep it ahead of Valser, giving him the space. Valser though has got ahead. Valser's gonna. Oh, the tight squeeze. The two of them go wheel to wheel. Leo with the push, helping Valser through, and then getting past Casper himself up the inside. But Casper's able to keep it, and that is beautiful side by side racing. Apart from the little dink that Leo gave. And hold on. Is it going to continue? Yes, indeed it is. And Leo does cut the corner a little. Well. Stolen Milk, 5 tenths behind Bazooka Joe. Leo's gone. JD 3 tenths behind Casper now. Milk's been dropped by many people here. Valser with a 3-second penalty. JD over the curb. Dougie's also overtaking Stolen Milk. Moving Ninja for 3 seconds. Leo into the pits with his AI. Large Dan into P3. Casper now down to P6. And JD is back in this fight. See if now if JD keeps that 3 seconds on Valser, he's doing. Oh, and Valser's been spun by Casper. JD's little nudge in the back may have had some part to play in that, but Valser has spun a lack of traction as well as the slight nudge, surely. And JD, I can't even look at that. The whole of lap 32, jeez. I can't even. We're just going to watch Dan for a moment. Dan on the back of Benja. I can't even. I'm lost for words for that one. I'm just gonna move back to where the battles are. Moomin Ninja and Dougie. As Moomin Ninja actually gets the move up the inside, Dougie going wide. In fact, could be losing out to the AI here, but no, clearly keeps the position. Meanwhile, Casper and Valsa only 5/10 behind. So Casper's going to gain quite a few positions just by penalties alone. In fact, if they're able to gain enough time, it could... I don't think it will be enough to get Dougie, but it will definitely be enough for Moomin Ninja. As there's Stolen Milk just moving out of the way for people. Clearly not confident in the web, but a very respectable thing to do. You know, you may not have the clean... People may not have the greatest races, but that kind of respect, that's made up for today. Now, lap 34 does start. Benja looking like he'll just be keeping P4. Bazooka Joe's on the podium at the moment, which means I'm likely to be singing Happy Birthday, dear Lord. I was not expecting this. Casper only 2/10 behind Valsa. Will there be a move made? You can see Swile on the minimap, just on the back straight. I don't think a move's coming, sadly. Not for Casper, not here. He just wants to gain as much time as he can. Valsa goes deep, Casper goes up the inside. But Valsa keeps the position. And here starts the final lap. Dan v Joe is also a battle we need to keep our eyes on. Joe could possibly steal this from Dan if Dan makes a mistake. Or Joe could make a mistake. It could be anyone's game, it's hard to tell. But I think the important person of today, excuse me, the man who may be losing time right now, but has kept it up front almost the whole race, if not the whole race, is Switatch. He has given us a dominant performance, a performance like no other. He's not my driver of the day, because I don't like giving it to first place. I think that has to go to Dan. But this is a P1 that people may not have seen coming, not coming into this race. Have a Switatch keeps the championship fight alive. That is P1 for the Swede. His title hopes are still very much alive and burning. Dan into P2. Bazooka Joe will take P3. Benja will take P4 no matter what JD does. And penalties are about to change up the order so much. It's unbelievable. JD will take P5. Dougie P6. Moomin Ninja P7. Valsa... Casper P8. Moomin Ninja 9th. Valsa P10. We'll just have a look at the order after the podium. And as promised, for Bazooka Joe, who takes drive of the day, funnily enough, not from me, that's Dan personally, but for Bazooka Joe, he deserves this. We're gonna let Switatch walk out, win this on the podium alongside Dan and Bazooka Joe. Bazooka Joe, it is time. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joe. Happy birthday to you. Let's not do this again for my birthday, please. Anyway, it was Switatch who takes P1, Large Dan P2, Bazooka Joe into P3 on his birthday. Respect for my man for racing today. Benja P4, JD will take P5, Dougie P6, I'm sure there'll be a lot of penalties for JD, no offence. Casper will have P7 due to a certain DSQ. Then Mirror Ninja in 8th, Bowser 9th, Stolen Milk in 10th, Leo 11th, Tony 12th, Hedgehog will take 13th, Rothens 14th, and Dean in 15th. Anyway, I have been your host, Lone Georgie. I will see you next week for the finale at Brazil, at which point I will not only 1. Reveal the calendar for next season, but 2. Will bring you yet again another exciting round of racing where we will have the championship conclusion. Switatch v Keto. 12 points in it. Who's going to take home the championship this year? Thanks all. I'll see you next time.